Hi everyone, can you hear me? Can everyone hear me? Oh, good. A lot of interesting stuff going on the YouTube streets here lately. I hate saying that word, YouTube streets. All right, I'm going to need a little help with this, guys, and I greatly appreciate all my new friends that I've made on YouTube the last few months. And let's go out there on the limb. Put a one in the chat if you're tired of all this nonsense. I'm ready for some answers. Hi, Johanna. King of the Streets, D Froggies. See if I can go down the list. I know I'm going to miss a few of you. If I do, I greatly appreciate everyone being here. We're just here doing another test run on my StreamYard, trying to get everything up and running. Alex B23, nice to meet you. Sun Beach, there you are. I get so tickled when I see your profile. I love that song, especially when I'm having one of those days. Um, Peach Punch, Callie, Kitsuji. So glad to see everyone. Well, now is your opportunity if you want to ask me anything to kind of get the ball rolling on everything. That way I can kind of check out and make sure everything's working right. For some reason, I'm not getting any sound. And there's a huge delay. Yes, I'm still working on a lot of things. A couple of months ago, my entire system was compromised, and I have just now got it restored to this point. And I haven't fully regained my camera yet. For some reason, I can't display my avatar. No quarter. You're welcome here. Ask me anything you want. There's been a lot of false information put out, but however, I will refrain from sharing anything too personal. Hey, Truth and Justice, good to see you. I've had a lot of guidance with getting everything set up and on track, and there's a huge delay here. Let me see if I can get my StreamYard invite going. Maybe I can get someone on panel to help me. Hey, that part worked. Yay! where I'm adding connecting. Hey, that works too. I like this. Okay, I hit the mute on the phone. Does that work? One day at a time. I like that song, Jamie. I really do. I like that song. Hey, Petey. Um, no more echo. Great. So we eliminated that. Now what's frustrating is I'm afraid I'm going to hear myself talk. Now I know how you feel. All right. Who's ready to expose some of this nonsense and getting some of this stuff out of here? I do remember. Do remember, Truth. I kind of don't want to turn this live into a platform of me being on a soapbox, but people might want to be reminded again that there are laws that protect us for what we're dealing with. And it's absolutely gang stalking, and it's absolutely extortion, especially with funding being involved. You know, if you want to help somebody, that's your right. You want to give for a good cause, that's your right. But please be cautious and knowing we've all been on YouTube. Most of us here in chat have been following different things for some time, from the scamming to the crimes to suspicious people being involved in crimes, dealing with crimes against children, crimes involving domestic violence. So I feel pretty confident that most of us in chat right now at this given time is pretty well aware of how to do a little bit of their own vetting. And I strongly encourage doing your vetting before you just throw money out there to someone who might possibly be working through malicious intent. Yes, Johanna, I have 0 felonies. As of 4:53 p.m. Central Standard Time on August 23rd, 2022, I have nothing on me except for my shirt, my pants, and my underclothes. There's a lot of people that have had false information put out there on them. They're only doing this to people that has an inkling of an idea or proof of truth. Please do not be intimidated by them, and please do not allow them to dictate you. Um, just know that what information you've got, you don't have to share everything you have. I'm tired of being treated like every day that I come into YouTube, I feel like I'm being brought before in a Spanish Inquisition. It's nonsense. I need somebody on panel to talk to me because I feel like I'm talking to myself, and the nearest mental hospital or clinic is miles away. Hey, River. Have I missed anyone? Nope. No, I don't see that I've missed anyone. But if somebody would come up on panel with me, I would feel a little bit better. I love talking to people. I'll drop that link again. Make sure the link's working. Now I'm not seeing anybody coming in. Okay, I need some help here. I'm not seeing anybody coming into any kind of backstage. So will I be able to see this automatically? Johanna, you do not have bad hair. Jamie. Now we know Truth and Justice knows. We know River knows. I'm just kind of wanting to have a little bit of fun with this because this is really the first time I went live on StreamYard. The other time I went live, it was on YouTube Studio. I was on YouTube earlier and trying to play with my screen share, and I pulled up some information on gang stalking. Let me see if I can do this. And let's see if this is working. Okay, I might need a little help. I get by with a little help from my friends. That's not working. No quarter, it's okay. I'm still learning this whole entire process. One time it works for me, the next time it don't. And sometimes I feel like a nut, sometimes I don't. Yes, River, I agree with you. This is an absolute cult. And it is so multifaceted. And there are so many players involved. But now again, there's some things that some cults are not bad. They're not. But when you start hurting people and hurting people's families and start taking away and stealing from them, and intellectual property is a thing. So keep that in mind. They may be growing, but like any other organizations, when they exhaust all of their resources, they tend to fade away. You can only produce so much, and then the resources run out. But it's frustrating to know that there's so many people that's being harmed. And what's worse to think about is that all of these people who have been harassed and falsely identified, and these people have children. Many of these people have children and grandchildren. And I agree, you shouldn't bring the children in it. But when you start tampering with somebody's pocketbook and somebody's means of living, you're tampering with children. I don't care who you are. When you start taking money and you start taking food out of the mouth of a child, I got a problem with it. I got a big problem with it. And I'm seeing a lot of things on these lives that are taking place and all these e-beggings that are going on. You know, you put that money to use. If you're going to be live eating popsicles and bragging about marrying underage people, underage children, and whatever, however you want to look at it, that's your own opinion. I don't think it's right for you to be standing there on a live YouTube channel eating popsicles in front of your viewers begging for damn money. I can't even buy a pint of ice cream. Hi, Asia. Like I said, I didn't want to turn my live into a rant, but there's a whole lot of crap that needs to come out and be discussed, and it ain't defaming when you see it for fact. And this has been going on for years. Sorry, Jamie, I got your comment up there, but it's going to stick for a minute. You've got so many families out here that are struggling keeping their families together, and they're giving them false hope. And oh, this one here needs their rent paid. Oh, this one here needs a car payment paid. Oh, this one here needs to move. I know people don't want to share too much personal information, but know when it's legit. Know when it's legit and act on your own free will. It's on them if they took your money and done something wrong with it. I'm glad people are actually starting to speak out. And don't let anyone dictate. If you have been a victim to any of this nonsense, okay, let me rephrase that. If you have fallen victim to anything related to the people that have been under a microscope for some time now, write that down. Do a timeline. Write out a statement. Keep a journal on it. And if something happens, or if they hack into your bank account, or if they call your workplace and creates a termination or a layoff for you, or Department of Children's Services gets called on your family and there's no grounds, especially if it's proven unfounded, take that document, take that ledger, take that logbook, take that statement, take it to your DA. Tell them that you are a victim of gang stalking, that they have absolutely infringed on your rights. There may not be anything done immediately, but it'll be on record. Take that, make copies of those reports. Take them to your chancery court. Walk into your clerk's office and say, I would like to have this filed for the record. And if anything happens, go to your court clerk and say, or tell your attorney, or tell the judge, I've already filed this statement. I've already filed this with my police department. I already have this on record at the courthouse that I have been sustaining actions of harassment. This is the only way we're gonna hold these people accountable. Hold on, Joanne, I'm gonna try and get you going. Okay, it ain't working. And sometimes I sing, and if my singing bothers you, just put a Thumbs down in the
Can
chat.
you, I can't hear.
Hey, I hear you. I see you.
Okay. I can't hear though.
You can't hear me?
Barely. It's sounds like it's muted and my volume's all the way up.
Barely. Have you? No, it's not me. It's not me on. It's not on my end. I think it just may be the connection. I don't see anything,
Uh
anything out of the
I have
ordinary.
3 bars.
Let me turn my volume.
Okay.
Let me turn my volume up. That might help.
Let me back out and then retry it.
Okay. Truth, you talking about turning off YouTube off of one of my devices? Oh, you're kidding me. Please tell me I just did not lose connection. Oh, okay. She'll come back. Let me drop that link again. Why is everything running so slow? Because it's 5 o'clock where I'm at, and it seems like every afternoon about this time there's an absolute freeze of internet service. We had him when you come in? Really? Okay, I'm froze on my laptop. Can you still hear me? Okay, as long as you can hear me, I can watch the chat on my other device. I was told that that was one of the tricks to doing this. Oh, now it wants to do all kinds of stupid crap. Okay, my computer is still not completely 100%. So I'm getting hourglasses and swirlies on my laptop, and y'all can hear me fine. This is weird. Um, Hey, I think we fixed it. Can you hear me now? How about now? Now. Can you hear me now? Okay, for some reason, one chat's working, one chat ain't. Well, chat. Hey, you can hear me. Hey, writing on the wall. Let me kind of mute this out here so I can see what's going on. What's going on? Yeah, there's a delay. There is a delay. Sorry about the delay. I can't control that one. We've got people saying, "What channel are you on? What channel are you on? What happened? What happened?" I'm like, I don't have a clue. Okay. There we go. I've got a couple of local people wanting to come into chat too, but they don't know what we're dealing with, so it's going to be new to them. Some of these people have got 6, I know that much. Got your 6. Does that mean they got a 6-pack? 6 Twinkies? 6 cups of coffee? That could mean a whole lot of things. The cult channels was, huh? What? They actually have cult? I think we should start a cult. Put some little weird emoji in the chat if you think we should start our own cult. See, I told you a while ago, not all cults are bad. Bring the margaritas and tacos. I'll call it something. We can call it a cult if you want to. Jackie's lips. Kelly, it don't matter how you spell it down here in the South, girlfriend. It's all in how you spew it. Oh, I was just teasing, Johanna. I just being silly. But I do like the idea of a 6-pack and 6 tacos and 6 cups of coffee. And yeah, I kind of like that idea too. You know how I make my coffee. Oh, cowgirl at heart. Girl, don't you better be careful. Well, you should already smell pretty already if you've been digging in the flowers. Hi, Libby Easter. How are you? Ooh, Jackie Blue. Okay, somebody needs to try and come up on panel again. We can try it again, and let me see if this little app I've got's gonna work. Writing on the wall. We've got so much in common. You should see the walls in my office. They are covered with Expo marker boards. Dry erase. I've got so much dry erase junk going on in here. I think I'm going to start a new office trend. Okay, is there anybody, I'm not a lawyer, but is there anybody, oh, thank you. I could always use a hug. Is there anybody got any questions about how to kind of go about handling some of this mess so you don't get so overloaded and traumatized by all of it? And I can help with that. Regardless of what you've heard in the cult world, I do have experience in some things. Yes, it's a black screen, John. Can't help that. I'm still trying to work the kinks out of sharing the screen and all that good junk with the new StreamYard account. So, but you've seen me at my worst, John. So we're gonna get through this. Hey, River. I want to sing, but y'all don't really need to hear me sing. You really don't. John, we're just having fun, just talking about stuff that we've been all dealing with in some other chat rooms, dealing with some pretty malicious individuals. What do you mean, true? Here, let me see if I can drop a... We're going to try this. We're going to drop a link. Maybe. We're going to drop a link. Yes, that's exactly right, Kelly. It's like resilience training. Okay, let's drop a link. Let's try this again. Play my Dulcimer. I don't have it with me. I don't have my Dulcimer with me. I'll have to do that one now. I'll have to practice for you because that's about the extent of it. John, don't tell everything on us. That's what we're talking about. We've got some knuckleheads on some of these YouTube channels that we've been dealing with, trying to expose them for them extorting and traumatizing and victimizing people that have been donating money to them on the false pretenses of what they're requesting money for. And they're using their funding to extort other people, dig up false information, and then what they call doxing. And it's just a very, very traumatic situation that we're dealing with. So, yeah, you've seen me at my worst, and my singing is not that bad. You're right, Asia. It's kind of like a bad wreck. You can't look away, but yeah, I get it. I totally get it. And anybody with any compassion as a human beings, they're not going to. No, anybody with any compassion is going to try and be there to help anybody that needs it. No, I've said it again. Don't let these fools dictate you. All right, Johanna, we're going to try this again. And if I get booted this time and have to do another reboot, I think I'm just going to try and come back in and end it. What's a dulcimer? Callie, a dulcimer is also known as a mountain lap dulcimer, and they also make hammer dulcimers. I have a lap dulcimer, an Appalachian lap dulcimer, and it has 4 strings, and you pick it, and you chord it, and you play it, and it has an amazing sound. Johanna, can you hear me?
I barely can hear you. That's why I just threw in some.
And there you go. She just got out again. I don't know what's going on. River, yep. They make a beautiful sound. Cyndi Lauper plays a dulcimer. It makes a beautiful sound. I picked one up at a local antique store one day. I found it, but as a kid, I grew up with bluegrass festivals and gospel festivals and things like that. And I had went to a place in Mississippi where every year they have a Dulcimer festival when I was just little. And I was mesmerized by the Dulcimer. I always wanted a hammer Dulcimer though. And but those things are pretty large and pretty bulky. And when I stumbled across that little one that day for a little of nothing, I picked it up, restrung it, learned how to tune it, found some sheet music for it, and it's not regular sheet music like a lot of things are. And learned how to do it. And I started out with little simple songs and little old time gospel songs. Telling them about the Dulcimer. You play. We've got a comedian in the bunch. John plays the garbage pail.
I cannot hear.
Well, I hear you just fine.
I think it's a delay.
There may be a delay. Have you got YouTube muted? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her. She's like that sometimes. God love her. River, what all do you play if you don't mind sharing? The flute, the piccolo, the bass flute, Lord, I done told you, River, about playing them with them organs. Honey, I've got my volume turned up all the way, Johanna. I've got it turned up as loud as it'll go without getting a reverb. Asia plays the trumpet. Can you play Revelry? Sounds fine on your end. Johanna's struggling. She was trying to come up on my panel so we could talk to her, and I'm having difficulty sharing my screen. I had a few things that I wanted to share with everyone, but until I get the kinks worked out on StreamYard video screen share, this being my first time on an actual restream live, we're just playing around, chit-chatting, getting to know each other. Well, when it comes to band talk, I am totally ignorant on band talk. I'm just an old-fashioned play-it-by-ear kind of gal. There she is back. Let's try it again. How about now? Have you done more of those?
I can't hear it.
Well, honey.
Let me.
Hey, Nicolena. Nicolena, we're just having fun
I
over
can
here
hear
chit-chatting, listening to myself talk. I've got my volume turned up as loud as it'll go without a reverb. Nicolena, do you want to try and come up? Maybe you can help us work this out if you don't mind helping, please. Let me drop it. Let me drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Oh, sorry, wrong person. Nicolena, I need your love and your support. Baby, I need your loving. We're just being silly, Nicolena. Oh, Lord, we can't keep a good man waiting now. Oh, no. He fell off of a ladder. He's okay, I hope. Ooh. I hope he's okay. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Yeah, I like that song too. Hey, there she is. I just seen her. Don't you get away from me, Nicolina. I got you now.
All right, hold on just a second. I'm gonna take Frank his supper. Hold on.
Okie dokie.
All right, what's up?
We're just laughing, cutting up, having fun with the first time going on StreamYard with me.
Oh, nice.
Kind of giving a little chillaxing, goofy moment to kind of let everybody's minds and bodies just kind of go with the flow. I'm having trouble with my screen. I can't get my little avatar to show up or nothing. It's just a black screen, so it's chits for chats.
Are you on a cell phone?
Nope, I've got the StreamYard running through my laptop.
So you have to, more than likely, you're gonna have to. What kind of laptop are you using?
An Asus.
You have to. You're gonna have to go into your settings, and you're gonna have to allow use of like mic camera if you don't see the bottom part. Because inside your StreamYard, you should have an area where you can click camera and click mic.
I did all that, but see, I didn't want to show my face tonight on the StreamYard, but I can't get my little avatar to
So
pop
if
up
you
on
didn't want to, if you didn't want to show your face and you blocked the camera via the computer, it's not going to show your avatar.
Well, goodness gracious, I'm just going to have to play with this thing some more, then I know.
Yeah, so you have to click allow use of camera and mic, and then when you enter into the StreamYard, you block your camera so it shows your avatar and not your face.
Okay, well then the next time I play with this bad boy, I think I will want to do that. But we're just having chit chatting with audio and chat. We're just chit chatting, having fun.
Yeah, Frank had a misstep on the ladder. He stepped down thinking he was hitting one of the rungs, and he had his foot outside the ladder, and then he went down about 20 feet onto concrete.
No.
So he is hating life right now. So that's why I said I really can't stay long. I just took him his supper, and I'm gonna force him to get into a hot shower.
That'll loosen him up. Give him a good rub down with Vicks Vapor.
Nope, I am not even rubbing him. He's sore. I think rubbing would actually make it worse. So I'm gonna give him some Motrin and some ice, but I'm gonna make him move around because I don't think anything's broken. But I'm not a doctor, so
we are getting older.
Amen.
Yep, we are getting older, and those little, well wishes to him. I hope he recovers quickly.
Yeah, me too. This motherfucker, I swear to God, he is accident prone at times. And he was due for it. It was funny because I was sitting out back today and I'm like, you know, Frank's due for a fucking injury at work. It's been a while. And then he came home.
Then boom, huh?
He was like, I fell off the ladder 20 feet. So.
Goodbye. Did you see Asia's comment?
I have to go help Jen with her bike,
Where is she?
her house,
What are you helping her with?
her chain.
Her chain? Okay.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.
Get a CBD bath bomb. It's amazing. I love you. He won't fit in the bathtub. He's too big. He's too tall and long. So we don't have like a big garden tub. We just have a standard tub. And I'm not about to try to have him squat down and get into that tub and sit when he's in this much pain. So he gets stuck.
Go get one of those little inflatable kiddie pools and let him stretch out in it.
Do what?
Go get one of those long inflatable kiddie pools and set it up on your back porch.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Oh, Callie
Alrighty.
asked me what does the title of this stream mean. Well, I was talking earlier, Callie, about people having false information about themselves being put out there by unique individuals, and enough is enough. Enough is enough. That's why I put my avatars. Enough is enough. I'm tired of people being abused and used and extorted and harassed, and it's like beating a dead cow. It's just constantly back and forth. Who are they going to target this week? What are they going to try and cover up tomorrow? Who are they going to attack the next day? And
He fell on concrete, John Dix.
oh,
I hope you're not mad at me for going after Lips today.
me?
Yeah.
Hell no.
All right. That
They
bitch
said
called my
my
job.
ass up because I'm a compassionate person. Hell no. Call their ass.
That bitch called my job multiple times. Fuck her. So, all right, I'm gonna drop down. I'll listen. I'm gonna go keep my Frankie. I'm gonna go keep him company and make sure he doesn't need anything. Okay.
All right, darling. Y'all stay safe. Wish him well.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, love. No, that issue with loose lips, and this is all I'm going to say about this for now. That was ridiculous what happened several months ago. They play off of the compassion of others, and it was wrong. It was malicious. There was people blamed for things that had nothing to do with certain things involving that situation. And had I known then what I know now, I never would have responded to that situation the way that I did. I reached out of compassion and concern for her and her children, not knowing who this woman was. And it was all a game to them. And I don't play games like that when children are involved. And they're ridiculous. And I'm not going to say I'm over it, but I'm going to lay dormant for a while about it. You don't treat people that way. You don't treat compassionate people who have busted their asses to save children, make sure the parents have the resources they need to keep their children safe. You don't use people that way. You just don't. That's just heartless. It's inconsiderate and malicious. Asia, it's been more than a year. This shit has been going on for almost 15 years. Well, I'm not over it. I mean, I can forgive them, but I'm not going to forget it. And advocates are not miracle workers. You can't help everyone. And if they don't utilize the resources that you give someone to allow them to help themselves, then there's only so much you can do. Yes, Asia, there's information that has been made public for over 15 years on these people. This has been going on for a long time. And it's just one victim after another. Well, I don't want to traumatize anyone or bring up any bad feelings for anyone. That is not what my intentions are ever to do. But now we deal with things on a daily basis that we just deal with things on a daily basis. And then as they come to our attention, there's only so much we can do. And sometimes all it takes is just having a good listener by your side or on the other end of a phone call. Yes, John, this is the one we spoke about multiple times. And there's a couple in this chat right now that understands completely where I stand with helping people. I mean, I've got a couple in chat now that has known me all of my life. John, I'm not trying to call you out, but this individual is a part of a huge group that has been deemed a cult-related group of people that they scam. They go after people and their children, their families. They're relentless, but yet they turn it around to where they're the victims. And they move around a lot. And they know how to work the system, and the system falling into multiple categories, as from law enforcement to the court system to establishing venues and jurisdictions. They know how to evade getting anything done on a judicial level in a victim's defense. Yes, they do. They seek out the vulnerable. I mean, hell, this fool's got me listed as an individual with multiple felonies and living in a location that I've never drove through. I've drove around it, but I've never drove through it. And there's about 4 or 5 of you in here that actually know where I live. Oh, being a career criminal? I'm gonna put this out there. It's not a lot of work being a career criminal when you have people out there who are willing to do your dirty work for you. They play off people's emotions to get them involved, to get them worked up into a defensive mode, and then that's when they go after people. You're right. It doesn't matter if it's the truth or not. Other people believe it. I mean, hell, Charles Manson, from what was presented in courts, he never even drew a blade or pulled a trigger. And he served many years in prison. Yes, Traders Amongst has actually been really good about putting that out there. Asia, I don't know, honey, what you endured, but don't be afraid to speak up about it. Like I said earlier, keep a journal, write it out, secure what's your event, and if it is any action against your constitutional rights or to where it could possibly cause threat, harm, or bodily injury to you or your family, you need to report it. You need to report it. That way, if something does happen that you have to defend yourself, you'll have something to cushion your fall if anything were to ever happen. Cowgirl at heart, you didn't stink to begin with. No, he doesn't have any respect. I don't think he has any respect for anyone, or he wouldn't keep going back and forth to the ones he knows is going to do his job for him. And it's not just him. I keep saying that. I don't want y'all to think that this man is the one that any particular group of people is going after. It's not just him. He wants to be famous. I say let's make him famous, but not in the way he wants to be. What does he say or promise you for doing dirty work? He doesn't promise you anything. He doesn't have to promise you anything. He just has to convince you that he's worthy to be served. Okay. I did not ever want to go there, but I'm going there. Mental health is a serious concern. However, when someone is committing actions that may be deemed as criminal or unconstitutional, there is no law that protects someone with a diagnosis of mental health that protects them in committing a crime against another. This has been disputed in court for centuries. There have been people throughout history with diagnosis of mental health that have lived a very well conserved life, very prosperous, and never committed a crime against another human being. And then on the other hand, other side of it, you've got those who used to be deemed criminally insane. And yes, there is a difference between evil and mental health. What we're dealing here, and I'm not a licensed psychologist or psychiatrist, but what we're dealing with here is someone working with mental health as a defense mechanism. Well, Asia, honey, there's nothing wrong with being a sub in anyone's chat. And I'm glad you've seen through a lot. I'm glad you've seen. I'm glad you caught yourself before you got in way too deep, and it resulted in something else. When I see people in these chat rooms and on these panels that they're strong in supporting him and supporting what he is stating is a cause, look at the morals and the ethics behind it. So, and that's pretty much with anything, because what they're doing is evil. It's just absolutely evil. It's a contradiction. They're living in a fantasy world of counterintelligence against genuine, loyal people, compassionate people who absolutely know what's happening in this world to vulnerable people and children. And they are sucking the energy and the finances away from those individuals. And it's sad. It's very sad. It's very sad. It's beyond sad. And give me just a minute. And this thing decides to act stupid on me. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, that's not my doorbell, folks. Just bear with me. I got the door locked. Then go away. Avon calling. Oh, so now it wants to work. All right, I've got a sign on my door. It says no trespassing. No, don't make, please, please don't continue to make yourself a target if you don't feel that you're strong enough to endure it. Please, just don't do it. Because they work through a vicious cycle of repetition on who they try to single out. And I'm watching two chats here, so I agree, Petey. It may be counter, but not any intelligence. There's several people that hadn't been able to speak their mind without being humiliated. If you start speaking the truth or you start inquiring about anything that you won't reveal from them, they divert quick. Do y'all have any ideas that you might want to present to me so I can better prepare for my next live that y'all might want me to address or kind of cover on? Because I have a ton of information that I can share publicly. Johanna, there was someone else in chat earlier inquiring about that same situation. I'll have to go back and look, but there was actually someone in here that was inquiring about that. Parasocial relationships. Well, you don't have to worry about getting pregnant. But I understand what you're saying. I'm just being silly. Okay, that's a good one. I did too. Yeah. Every time I see that Google Earth image of that address, I'm thinking of George Straits. I got some oceanfront property in Arizona. Laughter is the best medicine. And you have to have a sense of humor to deal with what we're dealing with here. And if you can't laugh about your own faults, you have no right at all to laugh about someone else's. Johanna, I know what you mean by that there was a pastor associated with that P.O. box. But the only pastor I could think of is a pastor of bullcrap. Oh, since that got brought up, I will inform you of this. There are multiple churches and church organizations that have been linked to certain individuals in this multifaceted dig that has absolutely been under investigation for child trafficking by utilizing the court system and local child protective services and obtaining these children through religious-based services and activities. Now, I'm probably going to do a show about this, but I've got to be super careful with it because when you start naming people and putting stuff out there, that it creates a huge liability. That is not a conspiracy. There are court records to prove it throughout this nation that there are indeed church-related organizations facilitating child trafficking. Cowgirl at heart, it is a very good possibility that is exactly what happened because to my knowledge and from what was relayed to me through hearsay information, I'm stating that it's very possible. But then I'm thinking that the other party did not show because he was working. And he thought that it could be pushed through pretty quickly and fairly. So I've gotten two pieces of information there. Not to my knowledge, John. Not to my knowledge on what we're dealing with here, other than the fact that this one particular individual and three or four more amongst that little clique were trying to state that they had biker organizations supporting them. And that has been debunked. The way these people are working, you'd be a damn fool if you're a biker to support them. And you know how I am about my opinion. Cowgirl, it does run deep. But we need to stay focused on what's at our fingertips and on the surface right now. We need to leave it to the proper authorities to dig as deep as it does go. Yeah, there's red flags everywhere. There was a red flag with me when I was introduced to him. That didn't sound right. Yeah, introduced to him. That's a good word for him. Anyway, there were red flags then. There were red flags the first time that I was introduced to him over a phone call because of what was taking place at the time of the introduction. Anyone that knows me, anyone that has been on the phone with me, knows that how I respond to certain things is that 95% of the time, I'm going to make sure that regardless of how it may sound, especially when there's a child involved, I'm not going to do much of anything unless some level of law enforcement is involved, and he had no level of law enforcement involved till after the fact. Wow, Asia, you got that close to him? Just, sweetie, just don't share anything in a chat that you're not comfortable in sharing. I'm not hard to get in touch with. Write that shit down. Or sit down and record it. Yes, John. Yes, he did. He made a live video months back and told me that he was coming after me with 1,000-man militia. You got to clean it. Yeah, that was my question too. What toy soldiers? Step by step, heart to heart, left, right, left, we all fall down like toy soldiers. Yes, John. Callie, there's a lot of people with a lot of information, but they can't do anything with it. I mean, if you go to law enforcement with any of this, they're going to tell you straight up that they have the same right as you do to voice their opinion and say what they want to. Then until they make their presence known or they appear in your presence and you feel that you may be in imminent danger that would justify an act of self-defense, it's just words. But if they've attacked someone's bank account or sources of income or cost them their job or hindered your life or caused you to be harassed by someone else that would cause the same issues, then until they actually do something to that degree or level, any law enforcement is going to tell you that there's really nothing you can do if you don't know where he's at, because they have the same rights as we do to exercise our First Amendment. Like I said, until it creates an imminent threat to life or property, there's really not a whole lot you can do but hold on to the information, and if something does happen. All you can do is document it. And don't give them an invitation for a visit. But this parasocial relationship topic's really got me interested now. I have been live for how long now? Well, That's just it. He's not a nobody anymore. He's really not a nobody anymore. He's internationally known now. You can go to any browser and type in his name, and it's just going to be one thing after another. And I don't see anything good when I do the searches. And that's public information. That's not stalking. Stalking would be taking and pulling information on your next door neighbor or your mother or your father that has no social media platform, no political platform. That's stalking. But when you put yourself out there to the public and that information is accessible, it's not stalking until you start making threats in the same manner they do. There's no crime in being a lawyer. There's no crime in being a lawyer. There's no crime in being a liar. It's just not good for anybody. Don't lie about anything. You don't have to tell everything you know. Just don't lie about what you do. Well, overall, even without the video, I think this has all went pretty well. I think we've had some interesting conversation tonight. Any questions? Any song request? I would stand on my head, but it wouldn't matter. You couldn't see me anyway. That's exactly the truth, Hallie. And that's exactly the truth. I just... All right. Does anyone know how to get through to my local emergency number here? Wait, a couple of you do. Don't call 911. I appreciate y'all being here and helping me tonight. If y'all, I'm not trying to get into a teaching seminar here, but I noticed some things that I wanted to shed a little bit of light on. You can't be a skip tracer if you're not licensed. It's called open source investigating. Yes, it is. And if I gift you my time, that says a lot for someone. And cowgirl, you're right. I have seen that man, and I've talked to that man, and you couldn't ask for a more genuine toned individual. And I said that today in the chat that I was on earlier. I have talked to him. When I first started talking to him, those couple of months I did talk to him, I have talked to him, and he'd be laughing and cutting up and making jokes. And then the next time I talked to him, he was fit to be tied. And then the next time I seen anything out of him, he was strutting around like a banny rooster. It's just, we've thought that. We thought that, John. We thought that he could be a puppet for something else. But then you want to go that route, there's a group not far from here that has used that same defense on his behalf. Yeah, he's a seasoned liar. It's all the boy's ever known how to do. It's the way he was raised, the way he was allowed to be raised, and he carried it on into his adult life. He was born in 79, John. So what would that be? 43? Yeah, I think he'll be 44 in December. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a true clown. He lives in his own fantasy at the expense of others. Well, y'all can think horrible of me if you want to when I say this, but I do believe Tina is onto something with some of this stuff that she has observed. Tina's not an ignorant person by any means. She's very intelligent. And she's very up to date on a lot of this stuff. But I've said it before. Tina is an extremist. And it's hard to believe her when she carries on like she does. I mean, when it comes to certain topics of interest with Tina Simmerly, I have respect for what she talks about because a lot of it is the truth. People just see things differently. But then on the flip, like I said, she's an extremist and it's hard to understand her and it's hard to comprehend some of the stuff she's putting out there because people don't want to believe it. And there's so much fantasy emphasis placed on what she believes in. It just comes out the wrong way. Don't you see? I'm trying to give credit where credit's due here. Trying to be nice. Well, if you haven't ever watched her, let's just say use caution. Just use caution. Because she's actually has some pretty good shows in explaining certain things. But when she goes off on her tangent, look out. Now, Johanna, you know I'm a minister too, but I ain't going to ever claim to be a preacher. There's different ways to minister, that's for certain. I just don't even want to get on the subject with her. I know she means well in her own way, and that's where I'm giving credit where credit's due. Oh, no quarter. She's been calm. She's been calmer now than I've seen her in months. She's actually a very tolerable individual when she is discussing topics that she is a firm believer in. But I'm not here to talk about her. I'm just trying to be nice about it because that's the way we should be as adults. Thank you, Johanna. But I do have a foul mouth. You're welcome, Callie. If I don't, I mean, I'm one to help find answers for people. I do have a temper. I do have a temper. Hey, Sayla, where have you been? I tried to call you earlier today. I was going to sing to you again. I can't get the video thing to work on this one. I'm still playing with it. We're just kind of chit-chatting amongst ourselves and taking on a few topics of interest and just playing along, kind of little de-stressor. And you woke up to me? Oh, I'm so honored. Yeah, I'm learning the hard way on that one. But this is my first actual StreamYard live, so as long as I've got the chat working and you can come up on panel. I mean, I figured that part out. I just can't show myself just yet. Well, thank you, Asia. And I try to have a sense of humor. Please don't bring her into this, John. Please. Lord have mercy, they don't need to know about her. Hey, squids! Haven't seen you in a minute. So you're going live at 9? Oh, it's just 6:30 here. Squids! I'm so happy that I've got such a wonderful YouTube family that we can see past each other's faults and help each other the way we're supposed to. Sayla, please tell me you've not found the man of your dreams. in a prison. You gotta wait till he's released. I've told you this. Never knew I knew him personally. Who are you talking about? Oh, squids, better stay out of the slammer. We're gonna have to set up a cash app just for your bail money. And I'm only being silly. Me neither. Oh, wait a minute. I just told a little white fib. I have been to prison multiple times, every day, for the majority of 7 years. I went there every day, spent many days and many nights in prison. I cannot lie. Now, John, the brig don't count. Callie, I've actually thrown that idea around. But then you get between you get in a situation where you're crossing a fine line. But if you wanna, I'd like to take and put together a timeline and note. You don't have to go in detail, but note a situation or a circumstance involving these people, and just do a timeline, and then let the proper individuals contact the quote unquote victim and let them give their statement to them. But if we can create a timeline, it would absolutely help the investigation with some of this crap going on. Y'all are funny. I was wondering who I sent those cuffs to. Selah. Oh. Which part, Petey? Clarifying what? I could get mean here, but I'm going to try not to. Rivers heard me get mean. Is Rivers still in here? Rivers heard me get mean with him. Oh. I think mine were mint green. And I had the double locker on it. Oh, and by the way, y'all, he told me that he was going to get me jewelry, and I still haven't received my jewelry. Let him run with it. I don't owe him an explanation of what my work experience is. I worked in the prison system for a combined total of 7 years. I went in and out of that facility every day and night that I was scheduled to work. And I made a difference in a lot of people's lives. People got out of prison, got their kids back. People got out of prison, stayed off dope. People got out of prison, they've got businesses of their own now. I see them walking across parking lots at your local retailers, and they call me out by name. You know, that they can call it whatever they want to. But that's the kind of difference you make on people with a background. You direct them to stay positive and stay focused. And if they slip, put them back on the right path again. A simple hello or a simple smile goes a long way. Okay, let's go. I missed something in chat. Let me go back. Okay, Squid, I'm glad you brought that up because that was on my mind yesterday. My men in the chat, an 8.5 man's size shoe is an equivalent to a woman's what size shoe? Can somebody help me Google that? I know it's tiny. I get that, John. 8.5. I can't do a search. Dang it. So an 8, okay. So they are 2 sizes smaller. So, you know, that's a big foot for a woman. I'm sorry, but it is. Okay, so let's do some science here. Not Scientology, some science. So if a woman's size shoe is 2 sizes bigger than a man's, how do we know that the print was not a woman's print? That's the same size shoe I wear. It's an 8 in women's. I ain't saying you got big. I'm sorry, Penny. I love you. But seriously, let's think about something for a minute. When it comes to the footprints, gosh, they need to be in this chat. When it comes to the footprint, how do they know that that was a footprint of a male or a woman? Okay. So, I know from back in the day when I wore combat boots and work boots, and I would purchase an 8.5 shoe for comfort and to work in, or boot to work in. Did the print match a boot print, a sneaker print, or a casual sole print? Okay. If it was a tennis shoe or a sneaker, did it match the print of a Nike, a Reebok, an Ozark Trail? Because most of those shoes are unisex on the sole. Yes, Princess Ice, they can tell that. Okay, let's theoretically speak on something for just a minute. If this was a size 8.5 shoe based on the report, then that means that the 8.5 shoe, and it being a woman's shoe, does that mean a woman was there? If this 8.5 shoe was a male shoe, see, this is where, okay, come on. Help me think. What if a woman was there? What if a woman was actually there? How do we know it was a man's foot? Whose vehicles were there? Who was seen driving those vehicles? Security camera picked up a car that they claimed belonged to someone's girlfriend. Could she have got out of the car wearing a pair of sneakers that was a size 8.5? Yeah, it could have been several people. Did they ever mention Lucinda's shoe size? Did they ever question Lucinda's shoe size? You know, Lucinda said, they said Lucinda, let's throw Lucinda out there. They said Lucinda was at work. He used her car. At least I've heard them say that. I might have been misinformed or misunderstood, but I'm pretty sure that comment was made. They said Lucinda was at work. Where did she work? What kind of shoes was she required to work in? I've worked in jobs to where you couldn't wear sandals. You couldn't wear flat-soled shoes. It had to be textured bottoms. Okay, he said she was at work. So we've got a time frame of when the murder and the robbery took place. What shift did she work? Did she work 2 to 10? 10 to 6? Did she work 11 to 7? Or 3 to 11? 11 to 7? Did she work a 10-hour shift that night? Did she work a 12-hour shift that night? Did she go in at 7 o'clock at night and get off at 7 o'clock in the morning? If she was at work, that's a pretty huge gap in time for a lot to go on. What time was the vehicle caught on camera? When the fire was discovered early that morning. Was to say there wasn't a woman present to leave a print. I mean, I'm just speaking theoretically, and I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. Who took the footprint? Did they do a plaster casting? Did they just take pictures? I know when you Google image the location, there's a lot of things based on distance that doesn't make sense. You're right. Did they follow protocol? Nope. Did they do a proper investigation? Nope. They didn't. And there's proof in it. Were they inept? Were they incompetent? Were they just trying to rush to pin the tail on the donkey, so to speak? Exactly right. How did she get home from work? Was she in the car that morning? Okay. I get that because they said it was him. Well, we know that the one that's sitting in jail or prison right now doesn't match the shoe size, even at a size 8.5 male or 8.5 female or a 10 male or a 10 female. So, would that not be a process of elimination? Absolutely, they had something to lose. They knew that if they didn't pin it on somebody else, that they were going to lose their little treasures. Am I helping any, or am I just hindering this situation? Yeah, it is dirty. Very dirty. Especially if you're especially if you're leaving behind footprints. It was very dirty. Princess, you can share if you want to, but I'm going to ask you to use caution. No, Squids, I don't think that may be the case at all. I don't think that's the case at all, because I don't think Mr. King was an angel by any means. And I don't think a lot of this is in my opinion, and I'm not trying to, hey, Beth. Well, I never really did get offline. I had a glitch and I had to work through it. We've just been chit-chatting and brainstorming. Okay, just hold on to it. My email is in my about information if you want to share it with me. You can if you want to. I'm not pushing anybody to share anything. Yeah, Beth, we're talking about, well, we're talking about shoe sizes. Yeah, I understand. Just be careful. Y'all can, my email is in my about information. If y'all want to email you, I'll give you some contact information. I will answer private numbers and restricted calls because that's just how I am. If I don't want to talk to you, I just know what the red button's for. Well, I'm on StreamYard, but I'm also on YouTube. We really need to do this Zoom meeting with people in there, to where it's more of a private and a more controlled environment. You got a Sasquatch? Will he let you brush his hair? I always wanted to brush out a Sasquatch. Yes, I know it. It's a good thing I got good friends to keep me in check. I know they bite. It's a good thing they're not rabid. I just had to do that to me, didn't you? Squid, dadgummit, you got me thinking again. You plucked his eyebrows. Well, at least he'll know who he's looking at when he runs up on me. With a hand mirror in one hand and a brush and a hairbrush in the other. That's just cruel and unusual. How dare you do that to a Sasquatch? Beth, are things going well with you, honey? Been seeing you in and out of other chats. Better watch out for those game cams, John. He's a daredevil like that. I seen him naked one time. It's a good thing he had his back to me. I'm reading chat. If there's long pauses, it's because I'm trying to catch up on chat. I've actually had fun tonight. This has been pretty interesting. Squids, you got my cogs are churning and a turning and a going 90 mile an hour. What else you want to add to the table? I'm never mind. Don't stand too close to the bonfire. Oh, Lord. Speaking of bonfires, we need to have a bonfire. Where'd Sayla go? She left me. She left me. Thank you, no quarter. Oh, you're going to catch me in one of my moods one of these days. You're going to think, is she possessed? Does she have a demon? Who is this woman? Oh, it ain't never too hot for a bonfire. Just don't stand too close. Well, guys, if y'all want to go watch those other lives, I don't blame you. If y'all have got anything you want to ask me before you leave, ask away. Like I said, my email is in my about information. Many of you in chat know how to reach me by phone or by messenger. I'm on Facebook too, or as well. I'm in the South, so you can find it over yonder. And if I don't have an answer, and I will damn sure do my best to find you one or give you a resource that may have one for you. You're welcome, Asia. You're welcome. Just don't let them dictate you. Document everything. You're more than welcome, Callie. More than welcome. All right, guys. I'm going to try and get this camera thing straightened out, and maybe I can go live again here in a couple of days. I want to brainstorm and do a little digging on this parasocial relationship, because I don't know about you, but it don't sound like a bad idea. But anyway, I'm just being silly. All right. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Don't forget to hit the like if there's one available. And feel free to reach out to me. I love each and every one of you. Stay safe. Stay focused. And don't let the bullshit fool you. Y'all have a good evening.